Right. Okay. So basically, I did an introduction of nouns. So you all know what nouns are. Can somebody quickly tell me, just give me a basic definition for nouns? I believe I gave a basic definition. There's a definition here as well. But can somebody just, without looking at the PowerPoint, tell me what a noun is? Somebody who had attended my sessions previously. Just quickly, off the cuff. Can somebody quickly just tell me what is a noun? Anyone? Okay, I think people are a little bit shy. So basically, what is a noun? Basically, noun are the names that we give to people, places, things, animals, and ideas. Okay, so basically, nouns are names. Okay, so that's what it's mentioned here. Nouns are words that indicate a person, place, or thing. Basically, anything that has been given a name can be called a noun. Okay, so that's the basic definition of a noun. Right. So when it comes to nouns, these are all the areas that are related to nouns. Okay. So just look at this diagram very carefully. So now on this right-hand corner here, on this side, you see all the various types of nouns. Okay. We have different types of nouns. Okay. We have proper nouns, compound nouns, collective nouns, uncountable nouns, countable nouns, noun phrases, abstract nouns, nouns of address, common nouns, and concrete nouns. Okay. So these are the various types of nouns that you get in the English language. Now on this side, we have certain grammar rules related to nouns. Okay, so you have singular, plural, and then you have articles, and then you have subject, object in terms of syntax. Okay, and then we also have something called pronouns and gerunds. So pronouns are noun substitutes. Okay, so like I, you, they, we, he, she, it. Those are pronouns. And then we have something called gerunds. So gerunds, excuse me, gerunds are basically verbs that have been converted to nouns using the ing form. Okay, but we're not going to be looking at these two today, but we're just going to be looking at all this. Okay, all this today, and let's just see how everything is interconnected in terms of nouns. Okay, right. So when it comes to nouns, naming people with nouns, so we are going to give people names. Okay, so now here you have a paragraph here. So who are you? You are right now a reader. So you're reading this. You are also some of these: a man, a woman, a student, or a worker. You may be a mother or father, a son or daughter, a cousin, and a grandparent, parent, or a grandchild. Perhaps you are a famous actor. Okay, so so as you can see, all these nouns, okay, are underlined. Okay, so in this paragraph, okay, when you see a paragraph like this, you should be able to identify what are nouns. In this case, what are the names given to people. Okay, right? So let me just give you a small exercise. So here is the paragraph here. Can you quickly just figure out what are the nouns here? Just quickly, I'll give you 2 minutes, and then I'll show you what the answer is. Okay, just quickly look at this paragraph and see whether you can identify the nouns. Okay, so all you need to do is just look at this example here, and then likewise try to identify the nouns that are here. If you are done, just put your thumbs up, okay, for me? If you're done, just put your thumbs up, please. Okay, so let me just quickly show you the answers. So as you can see, here are the nouns: Jenny, plumber; William, customer; Arthur Smith, Jean Muller, Jean, man. So all these are words that name people. So all are nouns, okay, right? So naming people. So nouns are used to name people. Right, naming things, okay, naming things. So as I look through my window, I see many things: buildings, cars, and occasional bus and construction on the terrace nearby, where someone has planted a tiny garden, 3 bushes with pink flowers. Okay, so here nouns are used to name things. The previous paragraph, Nouns are used to name people. Okay, now here we're naming things. Okay, so once again, okay, before that, you probably noticed that one of the underlying nouns, construction, is an activity. Nouns can name activities as well as objects. So this is something you need to remember. Okay, construction here. So this is a noun. Okay, right? I know it's an activity, but at the end of the day, this is actually a noun. Okay. Right, activity. Identify the nouns. So here again, I'll give you 2 minutes. Can you quickly identify the nouns? Okay, once you have identified the nouns, please put your thumbs up. Okay. Right, so if you have identified the nouns, please put your thumbs up for me, please. Right, brilliant. Okay. So here are the answers. Okay. So crafts, glue, crayons, cloth, decorations, holidays, celebrations, Halloween, bonfire night. So all of these are nouns. Okay, nouns that name things. Okay. And also events here. As you can see, Halloween and bonfire night, these are events. Those are also nouns. Right, naming ideas and emotions with nouns. I feel loyalty to those I love and gratitude to everyone who has ever helped me. I believe that love and friendship are always better than hatred and rejection. Do you agree with these thoughts, or is your opinion different? So all these words that have been underlined are ideas or to do with emotions. Okay. Right, again, simple exercise. Can you please identify the nouns in this paragraph here? Okay, the nouns in this paragraph. Again, I'll give you 2 minutes. Once you've done, please put your thumbs up. Okay, if you are done.
Yes,
right,
sir,
okay.
I'm here.
You're done. Okay, right. Okay, so here are the answers here. Happiness, thoughts, freedom, justice, equality, society. Okay, so these are the nouns that are in this passage here. Okay, so these are, so again, when it comes to ideas, emotion, those are also considered as nouns. Okay, just a small note here. The names of belief systems, such as a religion, Catholicism, okay, for example, are nouns, okay. The names of causes, such as environmentalism, okay, which means concern for the environment, are also nouns. So these are also nouns, okay. Remember that, okay. Things like this, environmentalism, okay. Sometimes you need a capital letter for a particular system of belief, okay. So if you're talking about somebody's faith or belief, you need to capitalize it. So there are some examples here, Islam and Judaism, and sometimes you don't, okay. For example, democracy, right? Democracy is like environmentalism, so you don't need to capitalize it. But names, okay, certain names, okay, these are basically proper nouns. So then you will need to what you call capitalize the first letter of these nouns, okay. Right, so these are the different types of nouns. So in that first slide, in the second slide, we saw that the different types of nouns. So let me just give you a brief explanation as to what these different types of nouns are, okay. Right, so we first of all have something called common nouns, okay. used to name people, places, or things in general. It refers to the class or type of person or thing without being specific. So what do you mean? Common nouns are basically the common names that we give to things around us, or people, or not people, but things that we find around us, okay? Basically. So if you, for example, girl, city, animal, house, food, these are the general names that we use for common nouns that we see around, okay? Proper nouns, used to name a specific or individual person, place, or thing. Proper nouns begin with a capital letter. So this is where proper nouns are unique names given to people, places, things, animals, okay, etc. Okay, so John, London, Pluto, as in the planet, is no longer a planet now, or you could take Jupiter, and then you have the country France, or even Japan, Sri Lanka, okay? So those are all known as proper nouns, okay? Right, unique names that are given, and most of the time they are capitalized, okay? Then you have something called countable and uncountable nouns. So from the names itself, you can understand what these nouns are. So basically, countable nouns are nouns that you can count, okay? Also, you can see. So for example, you have car, desk, cup, house, bike. These things you can count. You can have one car or two cars, all right? You can have one desk or several desks or two desks. Can have one cup of tea or two cups of tea, okay? You can have one house, and some people might have 4 houses, okay? And then you can have one bike or maybe 2 bikes. And then when it comes to uncountable, that means you can't count it at all, okay? You can also see it, but you can't count it, right? So wood, you can't count. Milk, you can't count. You can measure milk, okay? You can measure it as in 1 pint of milk or 2 pints of milk, or in liters, you could say that. Air, you can't see it, you can't count it, okay? Right? And then happiness, again, is just an idea, a feeling, okay? So you can't count that. So these are uncountable nouns, okay? So countable nouns and uncountable nouns. And then we have the next 2 types of nouns, concrete and abstract. So when we say concrete is something, it's a noun that you can physically see, touch, okay, and feel, okay? You can physically see it, you can touch it, you can feel it, and sometimes you can even smell it, okay? So dog, yeah, definitely you can see, touch, and you can smell. Tree, yes. Apple, moon. The moon you can see, okay, you can't touch it because it's so far away, but you can see it. It's physically there, and you're soft, okay, yeah. And then you have abstract nouns, okay. So these are just what you call ideas, okay, concepts. So love, time, fear, freedom, okay, these things you can't see or touch or feel. You might say, okay, yeah, I can see time and all on a clock, but not exactly, okay? You can't exactly see time because time is, you know, it's all around you, okay? Yeah, same thing with fear. You can see the expression on a face, but it's actually a feeling, okay? And then finally, we have these 2, compound nouns and collective nouns. So compound nouns is where you're going to be adding two words together to make a noun, or 2 or more, okay? So 2 or more words that create a noun, they can be written as one word, joined by a hyphen, which means a dash, or written as separate words. So we have examples here. Rain, fall. So these 2 are together. So rain is one word, fall is one word. Okay, together they make a noun. Son-in-law. Okay, right? You have son here, in, and law. Together they make this noun. Okay, credit card. Okay, you have credit and then you have card. Together they make the credit card, the noun. Okay, so what do we mean by collective nouns? So collective nouns is the name that we give to groups of nouns, okay? Groups of nouns or teams of nouns, okay? Groups of, let's say groups of nouns. So here is an example here. So team, yeah, football team, a pile of rocks, or a pile of wood maybe, a stack of books, a flock of ducks, a bunch of flowers, and for fish, we would say a school of fish, okay? That's the word you would use to call a group of fish. You would call them a school of fish, okay? So that's what you mean by collective nouns, okay? So these are the different types of nouns we have in the English language, okay? So whenever you see these in a passage, or whenever, if you hear somebody mentioning this, you should be able to understand what these types of nouns are, okay? Right, okay. So let's do a few exercises, okay? Related to these different types of nouns. So this is the first exercise, common and proper nouns exercise. Are these nouns common or proper nouns? Okay, so what you need to do is decide whether these 10 are proper nouns or common nouns. Okay, so I'll give you about 3 minutes just to quickly answer this. Okay, so once you're done, I will put the answers up. Okay, so once you're done, please put your thumbs up. Go ahead. Once you have completed, please put your thumbs up so I know that you have completed. So common noun is a general noun, proper noun, it's a name. Okay. Okay, one person is done. Right, okay, let me review the answers. Okay, so here are the answers. So San Francisco, a city in the United States, it's a proper noun, it's a name. John Smith, proper noun. Brother is actually a common noun. So in general, we have brothers. Motorbike, again, a common noun. We commonly see motorbikes. Museum of Modern Art is a proper noun. September, a month of the year. Okay, so that's a proper noun. Girl, it's a common noun. Morocco, proper noun. Park, it's a common noun. And Lucy is a proper noun. Okay, right, let's move on to the next exercise. Right, so countable and uncountable nouns. So this is your next exercise. Are these nouns countable or uncountable? Circle, excuse me, circle the correct answer. Okay, so there are 20 nouns here. So please go ahead. I'll give you about 3 minutes again and see if you can quickly identify which are countable nouns and which are the uncountable nouns. Okay. Once you're done, please put your thumbs up. Okay. Right, okay, let's quickly look at the answers. Right, so rice, uncountable. You can't exactly count rice. I know you might say there are grains of rice, but do you really want to spend time counting the number of grains in a packet of rice? Not really. So basically it's uncountable. So chat, it's countable. News, uncountable. You can't count news. You could say a piece of news, then yes, then it becomes, countable, but not in this case, okay? On its own, no. Job is countable. You can have one job or two jobs. A trip is countable. You can go on one trip or two trips or even several trips. Pasta, again, like rice, you can't count. Information, again, uncountable. Homework, again, uncountable is just a general term for all the schoolwork you get. Essays, yes, you can write one essay, two essays, three essays, etc. Luggage, again, uncountable is a general name given to suitcases, okay? Advice, again, uncountable. Cup, countable. Car, countable. Research, uncountable, obviously. University, countable. There are many universities. Progress, uncountable. You can't count progress. Okay, you can measure progress, but you can't exactly count it. Health, uncountable. Equipment, again, uncountable because we're talking about a general term for a lot of things. Okay. Peace, uncountable. And cities, yes, you can count. Okay, you can count. There can be number of cities. Okay. Right. Let's move on to the next exercise. Right, read the sentences below and underline the concrete nouns and circle the abstract nouns, okay? So now you need to identify which are the concrete nouns and which are the abstract nouns, okay? So you underline the concrete nouns and then you circle the abstract nouns. But in your case, just write it down on a piece of paper, which is concrete and which is abstract, okay? So please go ahead. I'll give you again another 3 minutes to attempt this task. So once you've done this task, please put your thumbs up again. Right, okay, let's look at the answers. Right, so here we go. So felt pain is an abstract, dentist is a concrete, tooth is a concrete noun, okay? Excuse me. I fell in love, okay? And then that's a abstract noun. And here it's child is what, a concrete noun, okay? After dinner and Holly, these are also concrete. Dinner you can actually see, you can eat it. So that's a concrete noun. Mom, school, Monday, okay? So these are also concrete noun. Monday in the sense, it's yeah, Monday in the sense you can see the day, okay? Or you can actually see the day on a calendar. So that's why it's gone as a concrete noun. Puppy, table, cake, okay? So these are all again concrete nouns. Traumatic, trust, intelligent, loyal, these are all what you call abstract nouns, okay? And these are all the other underlined ones. So nanny, plants, garden, all these are concrete nouns, okay? Right? So I hope that clears concrete and abstract noun for you. Right, let's go to the next exercise for compound nouns. Okay, what you need to do is 3 of the words below go together with, okay, so you have words here. So what are compound nouns? This is where 2 or more words are used to are put together to make a noun or a word, okay? So now you need to figure out which of, now you have a word here, head, one of the words, and then you have the other words here. So which of these words will not connect with this word, okay? That's what you do. So for example, let me do the first one. You can have headache, you can have headline, you can have headmaster, but you can't have headman. That's incorrect. There's no word like that, headman. So you have headache, headline, headmaster. So the incorrect word is man here. So likewise for the other 5 here, can you please figure out which is the incorrect word, the word that does not match this word, okay? Or does not or cannot be connected with this word here, okay? So again, I'll give you about 3 minutes. So once you're done, please put your thumbs up, okay? Right. Excuse me. Right. Let's look at the answers here. Right. So here you can have news reader, you can have newspaper, you can have news flash, but you can't have news magazine. Magazine is on its own. Okay. So right. So news reader, newspaper, news flash. Okay. Next one. Birth. You can have birthday, birthmark, birth control, but not birth baby. Basically, a baby is born. Okay. So you can't be using both of them together. Okay. Then you have air conditioning, air mail, airport, but you can't have air pilot. That doesn't make any sense at all, okay? So this is the incorrect one here. Then you have bookshop, bookworm, as in somebody who reads a lot of books regularly. Then you have bookmaker, all right, as in bookmakers, as in the people who do bets or gambling. Okay, those are known as bookmakers. And then we have library. So you can't connect library with book. Book library, no, that doesn't match. Next one, police woman, police dog, police force, but not police person. Okay, that's just a general thing. So again, you can't connect this with this one. Okay, so those are the answers. Okay, I hope that clears your answers for this. So those are known as compound nouns, where two or more words are put together to make a noun or a word in general. Okay. Right, final exercise in terms of the types of nouns. So collective nouns are words that refer to collection of people, things, animals, insects, etc. Fill in the blanks with suitable collective nouns from the list. Okay, so the list is here, so you need to put the suitable collective noun in the blanks. Okay, so again, I will give you 3 minutes. So once you are done, please put your thumbs up. Okay, once you're done, please put your thumbs up. Right, okay, let's look at the answers. Right. First one, the cat has a litter of kittens. Okay, so the collective noun is litter of kittens. The choir of singers. Okay, so there's a group of singers sang melodiously. The jungle safari gave us an opportunity to spot a pride of lions. Okay, a pride of lions. The poachers were attacked by a herd of wild elephants. Okay, I think that is not there in the answer. I'm not sure why that happened. A swarm of bees forced us to take shelter in the cave. Okay, a flight of stairs leads to the terrace. Okay, the band of musicians delivered a magical performance. The children were amused by the troop of monkeys in the park. A bunch of grapes was hanging from the vine. Okay, so these are your collective nouns. Okay, so later on you can just go through this once I send you the PowerPoint, and then you can refer to these again. Okay. Right, so those were the types of nouns that we looked at. Now, the first grammar rule in terms of noun is you can have singular nouns and you can have plural nouns. Okay, so singular means one, plural means more than one. So when you're writing or when you're spelling, when you're converting a noun to a plural, okay, there are certain spelling rules that you need to remember. Okay, right? Also, spelling rules is when you're writing the plural form of a singular noun, there are certain spelling rules as well. But the basic spelling rule is for if you want to convert a singular noun to a plural, you're going to be adding s at the end. So here are some examples here. Bottle become bottles, you just add s. Cup becomes cups. Okay, you're just going to add s here. Pencil become pencils. Desk, desks. Sticker, stickers. Window, windows. Okay, right? This is the basic rule. So if you want to convert a singular noun to a plural noun, the basic rule is you're going to put s at the end. But this is not so for some of the other nouns. So let's look at a few of them. So here is the first group. Okay, for nouns that end in ch, x, s, or s, sounds add es. Okay, so if it ends in these sounds, so ch, s, and sounds, you're going to be adding es. So here are some examples. Box will become boxers. Watch will become watches. Moss will become mosses. Bus will become buzzers. Okay, same thing here. For nouns ending in f or fe, change f to v and add es. So wolf become wolves. Wife become wives. Leaf becomes leaves. Life becomes lives. Okay, so if you have nouns ending in vowels like y or o, vowel sounds, okay, okay, do not have definite, they do not have definite rules. Okay, so these you need to remember. So baby becomes babies, toy becomes toys, kidney becomes kidneys, potato becomes potatoes, memo becomes memos, stereo becomes stereos. Okay, I know some of these you're just going to put s here, but not in this case. As you can see, you're going to be putting es. So sometimes the rules vary for these words. Some nouns have different plural forms. Okay, so there is no spelling rule here. Okay, so child is children, woman becomes women, man becomes men, mouse becomes mice, goose becomes geese, and then finally singular and plural both, it's the same. Okay, there's no difference in spelling at all. It's going to be the same for singular, it's going to be the same for plural. So as you can see here, sheep will become sheep, deer is deer, series is series, species is species. But what I recommend is just for you to learn these learn the singular forms and then learn the plural forms for these singular words. Don't worry too much about these spellings. Okay, what you need to remember is these. Okay, that's the important thing. So when you want to know the plural of a singular noun, you just need to remember these, go through these. Okay, just try to remember it instead of just trying to remember the rules, because this will become a little bit tricky. Okay, so it's better, you're better off just remembering the plural form of a singular noun. Okay, right, let's do a small exercise. Okay, there are two exercises here. Write these nouns in plural form. Okay, so just remember the rules that I've said there. Okay, right, and then the next one is, some of these words are wrong, correct them or write okay if they are right. Okay, so some of these are correct, some of these are wrong. Okay, so we'll check to see which are wrong and which are correct. If they are right, you can just say okay. If they're wrong, then just correct it. Okay, right. So again, I'll give you about 4 minutes just to complete these two tasks based on plural nouns. Okay, so converting singular to plural. So once you're done, please put your thumbs up. Right, okay, let's quickly just look at the answers. We're a little pressed for time because I have a little bit more to cover, okay? Right, so exercise 1, these are the answers here, right? So foxes, eyelashes, houses, lives, flowers, mice, okay? Children, people, okay? Plural person is actually people. Potatoes, clubs, okay? Not ES, it should be actually S, just clubs, okay? Knives, chief, it should be chiefs, not chiefs here. There's an incorrect answer here, okay? Then toys, worries, man, men, dish, dishes, okay? Next one, so sheeps should be sheep, okay? Scissor, the plural of scissor is scissors, okay? Children, children is okay. Persons, plural is people. Tomatoes, okay, it should be tomato, okay? There's a spelling error here. Okay, jeans is okay, wives is fine, women is okay, all right? Fishers, we don't have fishers, you have fish, okay? And you don't have fishers like this, okay? Just fish. Pajama, pajamas, okay? Right? Pajamas, it should be pajamas, okay? So those are the answers there. Right, let's move on. Okay, right. One type of noun, I believe I explained this in one of my previous lessons, but I just want to remind you of it. Nouns of address. So what are nouns of address? Basically, you're not going to be using nouns of address when it comes to written work. You're going to be using nouns of address when you're actually talking or speaking, okay? So nouns of address identify the person or group being directly spoken to. So when you're talking to somebody, you're going to be calling somebody by their name, or maybe just referring to them with maybe their job title, okay? They are grammatically unrelated to the rest of the sentence. That is, they don't modify or affect any other part of it. So when it comes to written sentences, you don't need to worry about nouns of address. You're only going to be using it for speaking. As you can see, the nouns of address doesn't have any effect on the sentence itself, okay? Instead, they are used to let the listener or reader know who you are addressing or to get that person's attention. So the only time you might see nouns of address used in written work will be in novels when they have dialogue, where there's a conversation between people. I think that's the only time you will be seeing nouns of address used. So here are examples here. So James, I need you to help me with the dishes. So James, somebody's calling James. Can I have some money? Mom, okay? This class, so I'm calling the class. I'm in a class, so I'm referring to them as class, okay? Class, listen to this, okay? This class is the video I was telling you about. Mr. President, I didn't see you there. Hey, guy in the red shirt, okay? So I'm pointing my finger to a person that is wearing a red shirt, okay? Can you help me, okay? So these are known as nouns of address, okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay, functions of nouns. So when it comes to nouns, there are certain functions. Nouns can be used as a subject, direct object, and the indirect object of a verb, as the object of a preposition, and as an adverb or adjective. Nouns can also show possession. What's important is this part here, mainly subject. So here, the male carrier always rings twice. So here, the subject is male carrier, okay? And then here, violets. So violets are actually flowers, types of flowers are spring flowers. So here's a subject. Tells who or tells who or what does or is or what something is, okay? So what is the action that is happening in the sentence? So basically here's your subject. Okay, direct object, I finally sold my car, okay? So here the car is receiving the action of being sold by me, okay? I finally sold my car. Tells what is sold, okay? Indirect object, Harold fed the cat another olive. So basically Harold is feeding an olive to the cat. So basically the main action is feeding an olive to the cat. So it's like indirect, okay? Indirect. So that's why it's called an indirect object. It's happening indirectly. So objects of prepositions, she gave directions over the phone. So here over is the preposition and the phone. So basically this is the object of this preposition here, okay? Adverb, the train leaves today. So sometimes this today can refer to a noun, okay? Sometimes this can be used as an adverb, but in this case it's used as a noun. And then you have a noun that can be used as an adjective. So you have buildings, which is a common noun. So we're just specifically telling what type of building. It's an office building. So it's an adjective in this case, okay? Possession as in it belongs, okay? So the parrot's cage needs cleaning. My father's brother is my uncle. So these are the functions of nouns in a sentence, but this subject and object business is what you need to really remember in terms of sentence construction, because you cannot have a sentence without a subject, as I said, and also without a verb. But we will be looking at verbs in our next lesson. But today we're just concentrating on nouns only and the grammar rules related to nouns, okay? Right, so here's a exercise for you, okay? Directions. Question 1 and 20. Identify the subject and object in the given sentence, okay? So what you need to do is you need to identify the subject and the object in these sentences, okay? So I'll give you about 5 minutes. So quickly just go through this. So once you're done, please just put your thumbs up so I know that you've completed. Then we can have a look at the answers, okay? So there's one more. There's actually 20 here. So just go through as much of it as you can. So once you're done, please put your thumbs up. Once you have done the first 10, please put your thumbs up, because I think we won't be able to do all 20. Just do the first 10, and then just please put your thumbs up if you completed. Right, okay. Right, let's quickly look at the answers. Okay, so here are the answers. Let's just look at the first 10. Okay, so in the first sentence, she visits her parents at least once a month. So the subject is she, object is her parents. Okay, next one. Ruby loves pancakes. Okay, Ruby is the subject, pancakes is the object. The key is in the drawer. The key is the subject and drawer is the object. The teacher is from Canada. So in this case, teacher is the subject, Canada is the object, okay? Maria has lost her money, okay? So Maria is the subject and you have her money as in the object, okay? Sleeping on the floor hurts his back, okay? sleeping, and then back. Okay, back as in your backside. Okay, right, your spine. Okay, and then in order to prepare for a career in business, Ria studied economics. Okay, so Ria is the subject, economics is the object here. Okay, so likewise, all these answers are here. So later on, when I send you the PowerPoint, you can just go through this at leisure and just try to understand how these, what is the subject and what is the object. Okay, right, let's move on. Right, article. So now this is extremely important in terms of the usage of nouns in sentences, because this is an area a lot of people get wrong, including my students as well. Okay, so this is very important when you're using nouns. Okay, right, using the usage of articles. So what are articles? Basically, articles are used to identify either specific nouns. When you're talking specifically about something or writing specifically about a certain noun, you're going to be putting an article. And when you're being unspecific, also you're going to be putting an article. So when you're definitely talking about something specific, okay, you're going to be using the definite article the. And when you're going to be indefinitely or unspecifically talking about a noun, okay, you're going to be using a and an. So there are 3 articles in the English language. Okay, the, and. So all 3 of these come before nouns, but you need to be aware of the context or when you should use this. Okay, right, you can't use it all the time, right? It depends on the sentence you're creating or what you're trying to say. Okay, right, the definite article the. So definite article the can be used when referring to specific, okay, specific singular nouns, plural nouns, countable and uncountable nouns, and noun phrases. Okay, right, you can be using it with them. Right, right, so here are some examples here. The Pope, very specific. Okay, there's only one Pope in the world, is visiting Russia. The moon, there is only one moon that we see, very bright tonight. Who is the president of France? Okay, the president. So we are referring to the president of France. There are many presidents around the world, but we are only referring to the president of France. So we're being specific, okay, very direct. He is the tallest boy in the class. Okay, so again, we're saying specifically this boy in this class is the tallest. It is the oldest building in town. So there's one old building in town, it's the oldest. Okay, life can be very hard for the poor. So we're being very specific that it's the poor that has issues. Okay, I think the rich, as in rich people, should pay more taxes. Okay, something Karsun Chintaka talked about a few weeks back. She works for a group to help the disabled. Okay, the disabled as in people who are having difficulty in moving, and also mentally they have some issues as well. So the disabled, right? Okay, move on. So indefinite. So that was the definite articles. We're talking about specific things. Now here, indefinite articles and an can be used when referring to specific singular and countable nouns and noun phrases. So the can be used with both countable, uncountable, singular and plural, but and can only be used with singular nouns and only countable nouns, because they only refer to one thing. Okay, so one you can count. So yeah, so it's only one. Okay, and singular. So singular means one, right? So countable in this case only one. Okay, so John bought a book, right? Mary wants a puppy. Mr. Smith rides a bike. Johnny Depp is an actor. Nothing is more beautiful than an eagle. Bill has never slept in an igloo. Okay, so igloo is a structure made out of snow or ice. Okay, right? So here are some example sentences of how and an are used. Right. So when you're using and an, there is a specific rule you need to remember. Now this does not apply to the. Okay, the is different, but when it comes to and an, there is a specific rule you must always remember. Okay, vowel sounds versus consonant sounds. We use the indefinite article when it precedes a word beginning with a consonant sound. Okay, right, and we use an when the article precedes a word beginning with a vowel sound. Very important, right? So we are only going to be using with a word that begins with a consonant sound. That means a normal letter, which is not a vowel, right? Vowel. So a consonant sound. Okay. So we are not going to be looking at the spelling we are going to look at the sound of the first word, okay, or the first letter of that word. Okay, so that's what we need to decide whether we are going to be using a or an. So if it has a vowel sound, we're going to be using an. Okay, note that this rule applies to the sound of the noun rather than the specific spelling. Okay, so if a word begins with a vowel letter, you're not going to be putting an. Okay, no. Also say likewise. Also, if a word is beginning with a consonant letter, like let's say H, okay, you're not going to be always putting a. It all depends on the sound. Okay, so let's look at some examples that will clarify this. Okay, here we go. Right, what an unusual discovery. Unusual. Now here unusual, so there's a sound. So basically that's a vowel sound. Okay, vowel U. So so an unusual. So you're going to be putting an. So here, just because you're not going to make the decision of putting an just because this word begins with a vowel letter. No, you're only going to put an here because it has a vowel sound. This first letter has a vowel sound. So an, unusual. Okay, so you can't say what a unusual. Okay, you can't say a. What a unique discovery. Now here why? Because you're going to have the Y sound. It's a consonant sound. Yeah, unique. Yeah, see here, it says you, so Y sound. So you're going to be saying unique. Okay, next one. It is an honor, right? H, but that H sound is, that her sound is not there. There's an O sound, honor. What an honor. So a vowel sound. So you're going to be putting an. Okay, there was a heap of food left over. Again, here now there is a consonant sound. Heap, her sound. So you're going to be putting there. Okay, right. Let's look at the next slide as well. There are some more examples here. Right, an hour, right? An hour. So you're not going to say a hour. It's going to be an hour because why? H, there's an a sound. Okay, an hour or an R sound. So it's a vowel sound. An honest man. Again, there's an O sound here, a vowel sound. A university. Okay, now Y sound, a consonant sound. Okay, so you're going to put in a university. Yeah, a European citizen. Again, the year sound is coming. European. So a consonant sound. A once. Okay, W sound. Okay, W. There's a W sound there. A once in a lifetime chance makes the consonant sound W. So this is extremely important when you're using articles. Okay, when it comes to you're only talking about specific nouns. Okay, you're being very specific. I'm talking about this noun. Okay, so this noun can be either singular, plural, countable, or uncountable, right? Now, when it comes to and an, what you need to remember is you're going to be talking about unspecific nouns which are singular and countable. Okay, singular and countable. And when you're using these articles, you need to remember that if the word starts with a vowel sound, you're going to be putting an. Okay, but if it starts with a consonant sound, you're going to be using a. So very important to remember these. This is an area where a lot of students make mistakes. Okay, so please, when you're reading an article or when you're listening to somebody, please be aware of a, and the articles in front of nouns. Okay. Right, so here is the final exercise for tonight. So I want you to have a go at this and see if you can put the correct articles in the blank spaces. Okay, so you need to put the correct articles here. So and the. So please attempt the first 10 sentences. Okay, please attempt the first 10 sentences. Once you have completed those, please put your thumbs up and let me know. Then we'll look at the answers. Okay. So I'll give you about 3 minutes to complete this. Also, for some of these, you don't need to put an article, okay? There are instances where you do put an article, but there are instances here where you don't put an article, okay? There is a sentence here where you don't put an article for one of the words in front of one of the nouns, okay? Right, okay, let's look at the answers quickly, okay? Right, so here are your answers, right? Modern life is stressful, so you don't need to put an article here, right? What's the capital of your country? Okay. A doctor earns more than a teacher, so you're not being specific here at all, okay? Do you know who invented the computer? Okay, the computer. We're talking about the first ever computer. Have you seen the newspaper? I can't find it anywhere. So we're being specific here because this person is trying to find a newspaper, a specific one. Is this the first time you've stayed at the Hilton? Okay. Is the Nile or the Amazon the longest river on Earth? So no articles here, okay? On the Earth, no. On Earth, okay? Right? Several million visitors a year are attracted to the ski slopes of the Alps. Here, we're not being very specific as to what year or how many years. We're just saying a year, okay? It could be any year. The ski slopes of the Alps. So here we're being specific. I'll meet you outside the post office. I'll be there in a quarter of an hour. So here we're just saying quarter of an hour. It's not very specific. We're just saying we'll be there at this time. Okay. Young people tend to think that life was more difficult in the past. So here again, you don't need to put any articles here, right? Young people tend to think that life was more difficult in the past. So as you can see from these 10 sentences, okay, you can see how articles are used and also when articles are not used as well, okay? So there will be instances like that. So you need to be very careful as to when you're going to be using an article, which article, and also when you're not going to be using an article, okay? Right, so that ends the grammar lesson. Normally I would cover vocabulary, but I think it's now 10:30, so I don't want to go beyond that. But I will try to put up a video for the vocabulary. I've already put up one on YouTube, so like that I will be putting several more in terms of vocabulary. But if you want, if you're okay with going a little bit beyond this time, because I think the grammar lessons for the next sessions will be like this, okay, because there's quite a lot to cover, and I want to ensure that all of you have a good grounding in terms of grammar, because the grammar will help you in terms of speaking and also for you to be able to connect your ideas, okay? So then that way you can be able to effectively communicate. People, as I said, on many occasions, people tend to underestimate the importance of grammar, because grammar is the rules that will tell you, okay, why am I saying it like this? How is this connected? Why am I using this word here? Okay, why should I use this word here? Okay, if we don't know grammar, we're going to be practicing what you call wrong. We're going to be taking on board wrong ideas and wrong ways of saying things. Okay, and that has happened. I've seen people doing that, not only just in people who speak English as a second language, but also in native speakers as well. Some of them also make mistakes. If you go to a country like the United Kingdom, you'll be shocked as to the amount of mistakes they make, and you wonder, okay, does that make any sense? Okay, right? So that's why you need to know these grammar rules as well. So that's it for today. So the next lesson will be verbs. Okay, so please don't miss out on that, because why did I cover nouns? Because because we're going to be using nouns for subjects. So we need to understand what are the different types of nouns. And verbs, why? Because you can't have a sentence without verbs. So please don't miss the next session that's happening next week on Wednesday. So thank you very much for joining me this evening. So over to you, Shoaib.